By the time it's over.
You've been divorced twice, and you're going to give me advice on how to stay married. Okay, shoot.
No, I didn't say I was going to do that. No, I wouldn't presume to tell people how to do this right. What I want to say first off about why a 25-year-old today is considered a sniveling, spoiled brat is simply because the 25-year-old today has not had to face responsibilities in life as quickly as his predecessors had to, because life's easier. Now, I know it's not for you, but the ones who are out there, do you realize the things kids complain about today?
Oh, I know. But
do you realize what they complain about?
Complaining,
they have no context to what they're complaining about. Show them pictures of Rwanda and then complain about MTV going off the air for 2 hours last night.
Huh?
That's right.
I see a kid on telly with purple hair and an earring in his nose. I've never in my life seen a kid with purple hair and an earring. I know they exist, but I've never seen... You all pick and choose.
I understand. That's exact. Frankly, those people are already lost causes, and I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about, I've always called them trust fund kids. These are the kids that grew up and had a trust fund. The kids who grew up, and when they turned 18, they were rich, just because they turned 18. I mean, there are a lot of people who've not had to work very hard at all for what they have, and they are as big a complainer as anybody else. They expect to have the house their parents had when they were growing up. They expect to have the same kind of house when they're 25. They expect that that's what America means to them, and when they don't have it, America's bad. America, and they start blaming people for spending their money and all that. It exists out there, and it's a. I think there is a lot of whining.
Well, I know it exists. That's what I'm saying, Rush. I'm saying
no, but you're
it exists. It doesn't exist any more than it did back in 1935. The thing is, you just don't have people on TV putting these kids all over TV like.
Well, I think those kids on TV create even more of it.
Now, you make it sound like all these people back in 1935 were holding hands and singing Ring Around the Posies and dancing and picking flowers. Now, they didn't say, oh, man, I don't have any money. I love this.
You know, Chris, before you get cynical about this, my grandfather is 102 years old. And for most of his life, when did TV come? 1950? My grandfather was born in 1890-something. For 50 years of my grandfather's life, there wasn't TV. Do you know what he did to court the woman who became his wife? They went around, they did what you just, they went to the park and they read poetry to each other on Sunday afternoon. They walked through gardens and picked roses and did stuff like that. They related to each other in ways that people don't anymore.
I know.
Well, but there is a difference, is what I'm telling you. Now, you ought to say, yeah, Russ, that's what I'm saying. See what television's done.
I know, I do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm helping you through this. Now, can you hang on through a break?
That's fine.
Don't go. Would you have something to do?
Say what?
Do you have something to do? I don't want to hold you.
No.
Okay, hang on. We'll continue this in just a minute.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
You know, my good friends, I appreciate revolutionaries. In fact, I, Rush Limbaugh, am a revolutionary, and we have a sponsor which has, as I have done revolutionized my business, so have they revolutionized theirs. Snapple iced tea and natural beverages. Originally started as just a Northeast concern with about 10 or 11 states as their distribution. Never intended to see nationwide distribution, but then they made the fateful decision to advertise here on the EIB network, and now Snapple is the fastest growing beverage in America today. And you know why? Because it's good. It hasn't been promoted with phony PR. It hasn't been promoted with a bunch of things it doesn't live up to. Snapple exceeds people's expectations. Diet iced teas, regular sugar-sweetened iced teas, and natural beverages. Snapple, you've got to taste it, you've got to get it. Snapple is made from the best stuff on earth.
Imagine having a virtual photographic memory and being able to meet over 100 people and remember all their names, or have instant recall of virtually everything you see, hear, read, or even think about. This is Kevin Trudeau, founder of the American Memory Institute. As seen on TV, over 2 million people have already benefited from the easy-to-learn Mega Memory Home Study course and released their own instant recall photographic memories. Now, it's your turn. Call 1-800-862-MEGA. That's 1-800-862-MEGA.
If you're a self-employed or small business owner, then grab a pencil and write this number down. 1-800-331-NASE. you'll be calling the National Association for the Self-Employed. NASE is one of the largest group associations in the U.S. Here are just some of the benefits you'll enjoy as a member. A true voice in Washington, travel benefits, free small business consultancy, and up to 45% off computers and software. Now, there are many more benefits, but the most popular one is the NASE-endorsed health insurance, underwritten by PFL Life Insurance Company. You'll receive your choice of doctors and hospitals anywhere in the world. You can't be singled out for rate increases or cancellations. For more information from the field services of the National Association for the Self-Employed, call 1-800-331-NASE. That number again is 1-800-331-NASE. Join the group that's looking out for you, the National Association for the Self-Employed. The number to call right now is 1-800-331-NASE.
Enjoying a strong cup of coffee and a stale Danish at an all-night diner outside Denmark, South Carolina. You're wondering if your secretary back home will be able to reach you. Don't worry, she will. You have SuperNet from Sprint Cellular, so your calls automatically track you down, which means you don't have to worry about being out of touch the minute you leave town, or about leaving everyone who may possibly need to reach you an explicit itinerary outlining your exact location at any given moment. With Sprint Cellular SuperNet, you just go. Your call will find you just about anywhere in the Carolinas and Central Virginia, automatically. Thanks to Sprint Cellular, it's just that simple. So relax and have another cup of coffee. Better make it decaf, though.
Why wait for the other guys to catch up? Be there now with Sprint Cellular, featuring quality Motorola phones. Call 778-0204.
We go to Chris in Huntington, West Virginia. How did you say you are? You're 19? Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, you say you're 19 years old. Have you ever been to spring break?
No, I haven't.
That's right. But the kids that go to spring break, in many cases, you ever watch MTV?
Occasionally.
Yeah. You watch it with some disdain, or do you watch it wishing, man, I wish I was...
Well, I mean, I like Nirvana. I like their music. Now, he didn't speak for me. It never crossed my mind that he was speaking for my generation. I don't think he ever claimed to be. I mean, he was a singer. I liked his music. I didn't worship him or anything. I didn't pay homage to him.
Yeah. Well, my impression of you is that you are not representative of the type of Generation Xers that are being discussed as whiners. Clearly, you're not. You're busting your rear end, and you've got a lot of things that you've had to overcome, still to overcome, and my guess is that that you will. The reason that many of these things are discussed, Chris, is because the press or the media seeks to make news of it, and we discuss things here that are, and this is an event-driven show, and I do think that there are generational differences today between kids who are now 25 and say when I was 25 and others 25. There are people today who live for spring break. There are just a number of people who have no context of what suffering and misery is really all about, and they haven't had to grow up. You're far ahead of most of these people for the simple reason you've had to accept far more responsibility a lot sooner in your life than many of them have. I wanted, though, to talk to you about marriage and the divorce rate, because I think that in today's climate, you look around, you look at the number of people getting married and getting divorced and the number of people having trouble in their marriages and relationships, it seems like the happy marriage is something difficult to find. People may not be divorced, but they're in trouble. You hear talk about people not getting along. She's unhappy, he's unhappy, he's playing around, she's playing around, all this kind of stuff. And what do people do? It's one of the... I had a friend of mine last night who said to me, I think that there's an addiction far worse out there than any drug. And I said, what's that? She said, love. Look what love causes people to do. We got to wipe out this addiction to love. People fall in love, and then they go bonkers and can't get enough of each other, get married, and after a while they get tired of each other and say, I don't like this. I don't like being in this relationship. I don't like being tied down. I don't like any aspect of this. They get divorced. And then what do next? They immediately go out and try to fall in love again. It's like an addiction. And what does that really mean? It means that there is a constant need for instant gratification of some sense, or of a series of senses. People, you know, the definition of happiness today is different. The definition of contentment today is different. The definition of commitment today is different than it has ever been. All of these things are different than they have been in the past. And it is so easy to get in and out of things compared to the way it used to be, that people don't have to honor commitments, not even just relationships, but in business. Look at all the renegotiated contracts there are out there. I think that it says something about the attention span and the depth of character that exists in society.
Well, that's because we've been brought up by your Gloria Steinems and people like that telling us that marriage is worthless. I mean, it used to be a long-term commitment of love to one another to just being like a really neat thing to do at the time.
Yeah, I agree with you. Marriage has been devalued by several social
And that was
upheavals.
basically my point, is they had it easier in that sense. That they had somebody that cared about them, that they could rely on to be there through good times and bad. But see, nowadays...
but if you say that today, you've just nailed something. If you say that today, if you're talking with a woman today, if you say, you know, in the old days, things they weren't as volatile and people hung together, and what really is meant by that, you just won't let me do what I want to do anymore. I've had several conversations with people who say that the way to have a successful marriage, and they're trying to counsel as many women as possible to this. To women of America, if you want a successful marriage, it's very simple. Let him do whatever he wants to do, 90% of the time. And if you do that, then you'll have a happy... Of course, that just causes women to have a conniption fit and all that. But the fact remains that there is this need for instant gratification, and when it wears off, when it's been satisfied, then you get tired and you move on and you want something else. And that leads to emptiness. That leads to a constant sense of dissatisfaction and unfulfilled lives.
If you're interested in the goodness of garlic, then you should know about Garlic brand garlic. Garlic contains almost twice as much allicin potential as any other garlic tablet. That's the ingredient thought to be responsible for garlic's goodness. Garlic's a convenient one-per-day tablet that's odor-free and easy to digest. Ask for Garlic brand garlic from SunSource Health Products. SunSource, products that work naturally. For a free brochure, call 800-777-2000. 777-2000.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
This is Wayne Alley. Wayne County Citizens for Better Tax Control were told last night by North Carolina Taxpayers United Executive Director Dave Murray that the North Carolina delegation did not get together on the tobacco tax and give the White House a clear message, as did delegations from Missouri and Kentucky. Murray said those delegations simply told the White House an increase in beer and whiskey taxes would mean there would be no health care plan.
We lost a real opportunity, but it's not too late. If you look at the votes, it is going to be extremely close when that health care plan comes through the House and the Senate up in Washington. It could come within 1 or 2 votes. If every single member from North Carolina works together and stands strong and votes against any increase in tobacco taxes, they could derail the health care plan and we wouldn't have any tobacco tax.
Meanwhile, Murray told that group that Senator John Carr has agreed to help sponsor that organization's Taxpayer Protection Act, due to be presented in the upcoming short session of the General Assembly. Representative Carolyn Russell has agreed to sponsor the bill in the House. Murray said Representative Phil Baddour Jr. had not said whether he would support the legislation that would limit the future growth of state government to the rate of inflation. Representative Baddour indicated to this radio station he likes the idea behind the act and got a letter in the mail to Murray yesterday saying as much. But like everyone else, Representative Baddour wants to see a copy of the bill.
Sent a letter in which he expressed an idea that state spending should be held to the rate of inflation, as I understand it. Of course, I think, I'm not so sure that we should increase state spending by the rate of inflation, particularly if the economy is in a downturn. We should not allow it to be what the inflation rate was the previous year.
Representative Phil Baddour Jr. Wayne Area Mental Health Board Chairman Ellen Brubeck told the local Mental Health Center legislative breakfast that the center hopes to have a new executive director soon. That person will fill the position vacated by Dr. Jerry Edwards to accept a top state position.
Our search committee of the board is committed to this task and is fully involved at this time with reviewing applicants, and we hope that in the very near future that we will be able to announce to you our new area director.
Dr. Ellen Brubeck, Chairman of the Wayne Area Mental Health Board. The Weather Center forecasters next. I'm Wayne Alley.
We got an early visit from summer across the area yesterday, and it looks at this point as if the unseasonable temperatures are going to stick around at least into Thursday. The forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, a west and southwest breeze, highs reaching 85 to 90 degrees, then mostly clear overnight with light winds, lows dropping into the low 60s. And for Wednesday, partly cloudy skies. It'll still be plenty warm tomorrow, highs again reaching the mid-80s to near 90. At the Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mike Moss.
You don't have to think about anything, you just have to listen. It's the EIB network, Rush Limbaugh, the leading scholar of the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. I have a story I want to get to here before the program expires for the day. I have been alluding to this story all day long. Vice President Al Gore came in and spoke to the New York Press Club yesterday. And the press kind of hit him pretty hard. The issue was Vice President Al Gore's theory that late-night basketball games can help reduce crime in the inner cities. Now, the reason I think this story is important is because it illustrates how there are different sets of people in this country, and the liberals are these high and mighty elitists looking down from on high at the lesser among us and trying to devise ways to protect us from ourselves. And this is really amazing. Because part of the crime bill, I don't know if you know this or not, ladies and gentlemen, but part of the crime bill, wending its way through our hallowed halls of legislative action, would mandate that several cities build basketball courts in the inner cities with lights so that there can be midnight basketball games so as to keep gang members off the streets and on the courts. So the press was asking Vice President Al Gore about this aspect of the crime bill. Vice President Al Gore, do you agree with it? Vice President Al Gore said, of course. He says, because you're talking about Saturday night, when it's midnight, and you've got young people in a community that doesn't have much going on except the potential for crime. Why not give kids positive alternatives? Several reporters expressed skepticism. One of them asked Vice President Al Gore if he would allow his daughters on the courts at midnight. Vice President Al Gore hesitated and said, well, yes. Yeah, right. Then the reporters, where were these guys during Hillary Clinton's press conference? Then the reporter said, well, would you allow your daughters on the courts at midnight on a school night? Not just Saturday night, but on a school night. And Vice President Al Gore said, that's not fair. There are different realities in different communities. You can run down nighttime basketball for kids, but I'm telling you, said the Vice President, the reality for these kids on the street is that they have absolutely nothing to do but get in trouble. Vice President Al Gore said that he believed that sports programs help young people. And then he went on to decry the lack of sports facilities in major cities. He said, this is an actual exchange. Vice President Al Gore said, do you believe that they don't even have a baseball diamond in Washington, D.C.? I mean, how did that happen? And a reporter shot back, they got a lousy team. Now, two two things. First, is there not, correct me if I'm wrong, but particularly in urban black neighborhoods and communities, is there not a concerted effort being made to steer young men away from the notion that they can spend all their time on a basketball court, get drafted by an NBA team, and become spokesmen for Nike and reap billions? There's a move, because how many of them actually, you would have to expand the NBA by 500,000 teams to accommodate all the kids out there that have dreams of being in the NBA. So people are saying, forget that. If you got the talent, go for it, but concentrate on your education. Concentrate on becoming a whole human being, in addition to your jump shot or your slam dunk. And so in the federal crime bill, we've got Vice President Al Gore and others supporting midnight basketball games under the lights every night of the week in the urban areas of America. Not for his kids, mind you. Not for his kids. No. There are different realities. Not for his kids. These liberals will come up with all kinds of prescriptions for you and me, but not themselves. They'll exempt themselves from it. They'll put their own kids in private school. They'll give themselves the choice of determining where their kids go to school, but not you. Because there are different realities in different communities. You could, I don't know. I don't think he would have gone for midnight hopscotch for the daughters either. Because I will guarantee you that at midnight, Vice President Al Gore's kids are at home and in bed. Because they've got to get up and go to the private school early the next day. So what needs to be said is, who in their right mind thinks that it is a solution to keep kids playing basketball at midnight as an alternative to getting involved in crime? Do you see what it is? We are conceding the fact that they're going to be on the streets. We're conceding the fact that we can't get them off the streets. We are conceding that we can't give them anything meaningful in their lives except basketball or sports. Yes, Mr. Snerdley, a question? What are they going to... When the basketball game is over at 2 in the morning, generally you need to go some refreshments. You got to go get a Big Mac, a Big Slurpee, or something. Yeah, stop and think of this. Yeah, I mean, do they hold up a taxi cab to get a ride home? I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you start the game at midnight, when do you shut it down? And do these kids not have to go to school the next day? What? Oh, Rush, I'm sorry, that's right. School? What do you mean, go to school, Rush? Where have you been? Now, this is the kind of stuff coming out of Washington, D.C. This is the kind of social progress that I'm sure they feel very proud of. But to say that there's nothing for kids to be doing in the streets of America at midnight except get in trouble is to concede rather than to recognize the real problem. And who, I guess, is not hip to be home at midnight on a school night? Guess it just isn't hip. Here is Philip in Van Buren, Indiana. Hi, Philip. Welcome to the program.
Mega dittos from Van Buren, Indiana, Rush.
Thank you,
popcorn capital of the world.
Great to hear. Where's Van Buren near?
It is about 90 miles northeast of Indianapolis.
Now, is that anywhere near Muncie?
Yes, it's about 40 miles from Muncie.
All right, good. Yeah, I think I've flown in there.
Maybe not quite that far.
Yeah.
It's a nice little community, about less than 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And our economy is based on popcorn. And small family farms that raise it, and international corporation that built itself up here from a small business that distributed all over the world.
How do you feel of be poisoning Americans?
I love it.
Actually, let's make it clear. These jerks are not criticizing popcorn.
Well,
they're criticizing
the coconut oil. I understand that. But the fact of it is, people are not living on popcorn that they get in the theater. It's a treat.
That's right.
And it doesn't hurt to eat it once in a while. And I think that people, whenever you go to the theater, they ought to get an extra box of popcorn for us people in Van Buren that's shipping it to them.
Keep in mind, I bet you some of these same people want marijuana legalized.
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get condoms distributed in every schoolhouse in America they can. Yeah. And by the way, have you ever eaten air-popped popcorn?
Yes, I have.
You like it? I'm sure you're going to say you do.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not as good as popped-in coconut oil.
The salt doesn't stick to it.
Right. Also, for Al Gore's crime bill, when the ball game's over, they could feed them popcorn. And that'll help the economy in Van Buren, and it'll keep them off the streets. They'll.
Well, let me ask you this. How many of you people in Van Buren have faced accusations that you destroyed one of the ancient cultures of America, that being Indians? Because
I've never heard that.
Oh, come on. You know you stole popcorn from them.
We took everything from the Indians.
That's right. If they were still around popping the popcorn, look, they wouldn't be on the reservation, and the
fact that the liberals forget to tell you about the Indians is that Indians were capitalists, and they traded with each other. Indian tribes traded all over the United States, or what was formerly Indian country, now the United States, and they find...
it's always been the United States.
It's capitalism.
Now, you know something? The Indians had wars with one another, too. Do you know the Indians tried to wipe each other out?
Of course.
Oh, there are people who don't want to hear that, but they did. I read something yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get to this, but there's some high-ranking Earth Day executive, some woman, 37 years old. I don't remember her name. I think it was not Skokie, but it had an SKO in there somewhere. And she fired another high-ranking Earth Day executive, some scientist, because he dared to say the Indians savaged the buffalo herds of America, and that the Indians killed buffalo to harvest the tongues, to take the tongues into white camps and settlements and then sell them for liquor, which is historically accurate. The notion that the buffalo herds were done in by the white man is something that the Earth Day crowd, of course, what does this have to do with Earth Day anyway, but still, this is the kind of people that are on these Earth Day organizations and lead them. And this guy simply told the truth about American history. He says these people are revisionists, and he was going against the revised history that these Earth Day crowds have written. They simply dispatched him. They let him go. It's like a professor being sent away for sensitivity training because he refuses to use the term Native American, instead calls them Indians. That has happened, too. Anyway, well, Philip, I don't think you have anything to worry about. People are going to continue to eat popcorn. It's good. It's fun. It is a treat. And I'm glad you're there, because we have it every day here at the EIB Network. We'll be back.
You're listening to the EIB Network. Now, a former president of the Arkansas State Troopers Association breaks his silence and says, yes, it's all true, and much, much more. Despite threats of reprisals, the trooper feared most by the Clintons has spoken out in the new issue of the American Spectator. This exclusive report by Daniel Wattenberg uncovers explicit eyewitness corroboration of the misuse of state funds and personnel to procure women for reckless extramarital trysts and to deceive Mrs. Clinton. These revelations contradict White House denials that continue even as the administration persists in its attempts to silence those who would tell the truth with unmerited career promotions, job offers, and even personal threats. Call 1-800-882-2424, and we'll open your subscription to the American Spectator starting with a bombshell May issue. Call 1-800-882-2424. For $34.95, you'll get 12 issues of the American Spectator, including this major report in your very first issue. Find out why the American Spectator is the nation's most courageous magazine. Call 1-800-882-2424 now.
Hungry for lunch? Well, you need to head to Western Steer. Enjoy the daily lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 4, starting at only $1.99. Western Steer's hamburger steak with baked potato or fries, toast, and a trip to the bakery is only $1.99. Western Steer also has other fine lunches and mouth-watering steaks that will make you come back for more. So when your stomach is growling and you're ready for lunch, come to Western Steer, located on Berkeley Boulevard across from Sears in Goldsboro.
This Friday at Knowles Carpet, save 50% off all Karastan Oriental rugs. Yes, Knowles Carpet, your Carpet One store in Goldsboro, is giving you lower prices and better service for your home and business. Starting Friday, choose from the large collection of Karastan Oriental rugs at 50% off. Many beautiful designs and sizes. See Knowles Carpet for floor covering products of all kinds. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 till 5:30, or by appointment. Knowles Carpet, 2311 Way Memorial Drive, Goldsboro, offering quality flooring expertly installed.
A.G. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive, your CP&L quantity heat pump dealer, is offering a sweet deal. Just buy a Train XL 1100 Weathertron heat pump before May 31st, and you'll receive up to $150 in quick savings rebates on the spot. The XL 1100 comes with a legendary Climate-Tough compressor and an exclusive manufacturer's 10-year limited warranty on the compressor and coil. It's hard to stop a train and hard to beat a rebate from E.G. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive. Call 658-2971. Here's a rare treat from Prince Tire Company. Goodyear's premium all-season radial is on sale at very special prices. Buy 3 Goodyear Invicta GS radials at the regular price. The 4th tire is free. And the offer gets better. Invicta GS carries Goodyear's longest tread life warranty, 70,000 miles. Just ask Prince Tire Company for details. They also have savings on the Goodyear Corsica GT. Hurry in before April 30th. Prince Tire Company at 1011 South George Street, Goldsboro.
Own up to it. Face it. Admit it. You're addicted to this show. The only healthful addiction known to exist in the United States is being addicted to EIB. Here is Walt in Orange County, California. Hi, Walt. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Rush. I just had to call in when that young man was to some degree blaming the World War II generation for what's going on today, because I'm a member of that generation as a World War II pilot. And for
what did you fly? What did you fly?
A-20s.
Oh, okay.
It was an attack bomber.
Right.
I have for a long time have felt that we dropped the ball when we came home from the war. We thought we'd done our job. We then got interested in our own affairs and felt that we'd elected good people to office, and we didn't pay attention to what was going on. And the government got away from us. And I blame us a great deal for the non-vigilance that we should have exercised.
You do not, or do you, give yourself credit, though, for coming home and still building a stable society?
Well, yeah, but we let the...
I mean, you built a very prosperous America.
Yes, we paid attention to that, and we did that by paying attention to our own affairs. We were interested in freedom, and we thought we had it. And we thought we'd won it. And so we paid attention to our own affairs, and we did build a country. But on the other hand, we didn't pay attention to politics.
What about his claim that the World War II generation really botched it by electing Franklin Delano Roosevelt not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times?
Well, I don't necessarily blame that on the World War II generation. Most people were like me, I think. They were in the service, and they were pretty well occupied, and I didn't vote till I got out. And when I got out, I voted for a guy I didn't like, but he was better than the other. I voted for Dewey.
Really? Oh, you thought you won there for a while.
And I hoped we were going to get Taft in 52.
Yeah. Well, I think you're giving yourself, you're beating yourself up a little bit too much. Where do you think you went wrong? I mean, who did you elect as, and I know you can't speak for a whole generation, but what do you think? I mean, in terms of the people that you elected that led to the country's downfall, or at least down that path.
Well,
who are you talking about?
Let me name one that really fooled us, and I've never heard this expressed. But we had one president that traveled under a conservative label, and he took us down the road to federalism and putting the government in our affairs down to the lowest level, faster than any other president could have done it. I don't think a liberal could have accomplished this. And that was the man who said, I'm going to give back the states and the people the money they send to Washington. Revenue sharing. And with revenue sharing, every dime that is sent to the states has all kinds of restrictions, regulations, whatever attached to it. And it's
so you're
the federal government.
I'm talking about Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon, right.
And he put the federal government in control right down to the lowest podunk little transportation district across the country. And no one has ever given him credit for this.
Oh, I think in their own way people have been critical of Mr. Nixon.
Oh, but for the wrong reasons. For the wrong reasons. The liberals went after him because they called him a conservative, and he took us down the road to liberalism under that one little thing, revenue
Well,
sharing.
it wasn't just that. Wage and price control.
Oh, yes.
And there were a number of things that Nixon did that by today's standards would be viewed as very liberal.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad to hear from you, Walt. Thanks very much for taking the time to call. You've, I'm sure, made Chris in Huntington, West Virginia's day. Have you ever thought about taking Generation X to lunch or anything and talking to them about any of this?
Oh, I try all the time. We get into arguments all the time.
Really? Like
Yeah.
what? Like what?
Oh, you know, their views are quite different. But I find, you find when you're talking to a liberal, if you can get on a
I don't mean a liberal. I'm talking about
plane.
I'm talking about Generation X. I'm talking about your average 19-year-old today. Your average 20, or not average, but some of the 19 or 20-year-olds today who would agree with you that you've blown it, that you botched America for them by taking everything and there's nothing left for them, that you've spent them into debt, that you've got this...
I hear that not really from them. I hear that mainly from the media.
No, they're thinking it. Believe me. I mean, they're out there and they think it. And I think that's why the new rebellion in America is going to be conservative. I think there are a lot of these Generation Xers who are going to surprise everybody and end up being very conservative and demand certain accountability and responsibility from leaders that in the past we have not. Anyway, I've got to go here, Walt. Great to hear from you, though. Thanks much. We'll be back with our final segment right after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network. Quit chewing tobacco with Mint Snuff All Mint Chew. Mint Snuff is made from mint, not tobacco. Thousands of folks have used Mint Snuff to quit tobacco. Mint Snuff now comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and our original great-tasting mint. Ask for Mint Snuff All Mint Chew at grocery and convenience stores. For the location of the store nearest you, call 1-800-EAT-MINT, 1-800-EAT-MINT.
If your kids have reading problems, any kind of reading problems, why not try Hooked on Phonics, the cassette program that's helped hundreds of thousands of people to read, from preschoolers to adults. Kids love the musical format, and adults can teach themselves to read without any help or embarrassment. Let Hooked on Phonics be the answer to your reading problems. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG, 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Well, ma'am, what can I tell you about that beautiful automobile?
What kind of warranty does it have?
Why'd you want to know that kind of stuff? The important part is you like the way it looks, and you know you'll get the best deal in town right here.
Thanks, but I still like to
Take it out for a test drive. You're going to love it once you get behind the wheel, and just pay no attention to all that sticker price. We've got a great big sale going on because it's the boss's birthday.
Okay, then how much does it cost?
Couldn't say without checking with my manager first, but you know we'd give you a first-class deal.
Great. You can't tell me about the car and you won't give me a price. What a hassle.
That's the way we do it here. If you want that no-hassle stuff, you'll have to check over to Courtesy Buick.
Where?
Courtesy Buick in Goldsboro.
Thanks. Maybe they can answer my questions.
At Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro, you'll find exactly what you want. Helpful, informed salespeople who can answer your questions without all the hassle. Courtesy has no-hassle pricing, too. No negotiating or haggling. Just the best price marked right on every new Buick GMC and Honda. Courtesy Buick GMC on Highway 70 Bypass in Goldsboro. The only no-hassle Buick dealer in North Carolina.
Shoot, I forgot to tell her about the free fuzzy dice.
HB Systems at 2902 Central Heights Road in the Brent King Building is Goldsboro's coast-to-coast computer operation with complete business systems, hardware, and software. They offer installations all across the USA. HB Systems offers custom software design and programming, training and support, as well as networking or standalone operations. These systems are custom designed for your business, whether you operate a one-person business or a large business. They know computers. HB Systems, 2902 Central Heights Road, Goldsboro. Call 778-9795.
For your office, club, church, or business, it's State Office Equipment Company. Discount office furniture. You buy for less. Bargains like folding tables, 30 by 96, just $47. 4-drawer full suspension files, just $119.95 letter size, $139.95 for the legal size. Oak or walnut desk, $189.95. Executive chair, only $179.95. Delivery is available. Also used furniture for sale at State Office Equipment Company, 2211A East Ash Street, open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 till 5:30, Friday 8:30 till 5 p.m.
Well, you know, Thursday's a big day in America. It's called Take Your Daughter to Work Day. A lot of people are finally wising up, saying, well, what are we going to do with little boys? And they're going to be taken care of. They're going to be indoctrinated as to how little girls are mistreated and how they're not given a fair shake in America today. That's all happening on Thursday. But I'd like to propose a slight change to this. I'd get rid of the gender orientation here, because this is old hat. In fact, HR, you put an article on my story today about on my desk today about feminism, which written by a feminist. Everything I'm saying about it is now right. Do you know what magazine it came from? You recall? Cosmo in the May issue. Okay, we'll maybe talk about that later. Here it is, generational stuff. And instead of take your daughter to work on Thursday, take a Generation Xer to work on Thursday. Grab your nearest Generation Xer and take them into the office and say, Sean, you see those people over there? Yeah. You know what they're doing? No. They're working. It's called a job. Hey, cool, man. How much time off do they get in the summer? They don't. No semesters here, Sean. Take a Generation Xer to work and show them what it is.
This is a story about American heroes. They changed quite a few lives last year. Jorge Vasquez put out fires, but no, he's not a firefighter. Philip Dale discovered several new stars. Oh, he's not an astronomer. And Elaine Capobianco, she saved a child from drowning, but she's not a lifeguard. They're teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
I'm a teacher. The children are the heroes.
We're not just teaching subject matter, we're teaching human beings.
I am tough as nails, but they know that I love them.
I mean, we've got a legacy that follows behind us forever.
Teachers have the power to make an impact on our future. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero. 1-800-45-TEACH.
A public service message brought to you by Recruiting New Teachers, the Ad Council, and this station.
WGBR, Goldsboro's very own.
From ABC News, I'm John Belmont. Full military honors this morning as former President Richard Nixon headed home one last time. 8 men from all branches of the service placed Mr. Nixon's flag-draped coffin aboard a former Air Force One at New York State's Stewart Air National Guard Base. It's due to arrive at Southern California's El Toro Naval Air Station later this afternoon. ABC's Bob Schmidt is standing by live there. He joins us now. Bob?
John, in life, Richard Nixon came here often to an El Toro Marine Air Station was the destination he used to get to and from his home in nearby San Clemente. As you said, he returns here today for the last time. His reigns born on that Boeing 707 that was Air Force One during his years in office. The body will be slowly transferred with full military honors into an awaiting hearse that will carry Mr. Nixon's body over the California freeways to its final resting place at his boyhood home in Yorba Linda. This is not a public event here at El Toro, only base personnel being allowed in. They nose pressed up against the gate here to watch as the plane lands later today. John?
It was raining earlier this morning in Southern California, and people were standing in line in the rain to view Mr. Nixon's body at his presidential library and birthplace in Yorba Linda. Our thanks to ABC's Bob Schmidt. The death toll is now up to at least 253 in this morning's crash landing of a Taiwanese airliner with reported engine trouble at the airport in Nagoya, Japan. 10 people survived, 8 still missing. The verbal sniping continues over whether to ban assault weapons as part of the final version of the crime bill.
I don't know if any of you have ever seen what it looks like to have your husband of 3 months. Have half his head missing and have it on top of the roof of our car.
Judy Darling of Pennsylvania lost her husband to a man with an assault rifle. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's some food for thought. The average American spends 18% of his take-home pay on transportation. At Sears, we're doing something to hold down this cost. Until April 30th, we've got Bridgestone Road Handler tires at our lowest price of the year. You save $24 to $44 on a set of 4. And we stand behind these great tires with road hazard coverage and a 70,000-mile limited warranty. See store for details. Bridgestone Road Handlers, on sale at Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
So, Bob, you're a skier, into excitement. That's why you got the Grand Am Sport Coupe, right?
I love to have fun, but there's more to it than that.
Beyond the V6 power and sport suspension?
The performance was just the beginning.
So what hooked you?
The airbag and anti-lock brakes.
Say what?
And when it came to price, the imports I looked at weren't even close.
Whoa!
I say something wrong?
No, I just never realized a Grand Am was so smart.
Oh, sorry.
The new Grand Am Sport Coupe, driving excitement by Pontiac. Always wear safety belts, even with airbags.
Some balance to the gun story. The group Gun Owners of America says the Senate version of the assault weapons ban goes too far, affecting half the gun owners in the country. Evander Holyfield is retiring from the ring at age 31 because of a pre-existing heart condition. His Atlanta doctor says the former heavyweight champ was technically in heart failure when he lost the title to Michael Moorer Friday night. April snow is for the very young. They're about the only ones enjoying today's near blizzard that shut down the state capitol and suspended mail delivery in Bismarck, North Dakota. We're told a foot is on the way, and reporter Mark Armstrong of ABC affiliate KF